Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another Degen Power Hour. That's right. Every Monday, my brother and I go through DFS early look, Underdog Battle Royale early look, best ball bags, checking out the portfolio, and of course, Monday Night Football bets. We are going to do that in just 1 minute. That's right. Happy Monday to all. Week 6 wraps up tonight with a double header. Of course, Washington is playing the Bears, Bills, Falcons. We got it all, Steve. Excuse me, I don't have a good camera or microphone, so bear with me today. I'll be back home on Wednesday for the rest of the week's shows. But yeah, Steve, we're going to talk through, obviously, early look to week 7, talking about, obviously, kind of recap week 6. Our best ball bags, early look week 7, Monday Night Football, lots to cover here. But why don't you talk about how you thought your week 6 went and all those things before we get to the best ball bags while I finish sending out our Substack.
Yeah, so we still obviously 2 games tonight. So, a little different than most Mondays, but the week started out great with our guy Cam Scattaboo with a big day. And overall, oh boy. Overall, I thought it was a good day for where we stood on best ball, and even in some of our props, just didn't get there with everything we wanted. But like Drake May was QB1 on the main slate, Mahomes QB1 on the week so far with 4 quarterbacks to go.
Right.
We saw some big rushing performances. Josh Jacobs keeps cooking. JT keeps cooking. CMC keeps cooking, but Rico Dowdle, he got the revenge game. He had a monster. But it was kind of the game we thought. Pickens on the other side had one of the biggest receiver weeks, him and JSN. Unfortunately, that Rams game kind of just hit there across the board, and so that was disappointing. And also the other big injury thing that impacted some of our props was Emeka Mbuka going down.
Yeah,
that was unfortunate because I think he probably would have gotten there given what, Baker had a pretty good game and got the big win against the 49ers. But that was definitely disappointing. We also got the news today that the Titans have made the move. They got rid of Callahan. Seemed like they had to. Things are not looking good in Tennessee. He has as many wins since he started last year as Mike Vrabel has this year. So Tennessee probably didn't make the right call firing Mike Vrabel and going with Brian Callahan. And they actually play each other this week, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think they had to move on for sure. As far as our props went this week, not a good, we had an amazing 9-2 record this week. Not so good this week, week 5, we had an amazing record, hit a couple parlays. Not so good this week. We did hit a couple of the individual bets and the DAC little ladder, 250 and 2, but I had done 275 and 3, and I just missed by like a couple yards, so something like that. But so it has not been a good week there. I had like a break-even week in the DFS streets. How did you do in the DFS and Battle Royale or Underdog Daily streets while I finished sending this?
Yeah, I didn't play near as much DFS. We had family in town, and so we're visiting a lot. But Battle Royale, just didn't end up with a great week. A lot because I was just so high in Puka and Mbuka. And those guys just didn't get there. Like I had plenty of Rico and JSN and Pickens, decent amounts, but those are kind of the killers. They killed a lot of teams. And also you really did have to pay up for tight end, McBride and Warren. Ferguson was okay, but McBride and Warren just totally dusted the rest of the tight ends. So you kind of needed one of those two. You could get by with Ferg, but that's about it. So I think that was a week where you really had to pay up for tight end, and I did, but mainly it was for Ferguson, low Warren, very average on McBride with the backup quarterback, but Brissett actually played pretty well. So
what did McBride end up with?
He had like 17.5 underdog points.
Okay.
So him and Warren were like the only guys over 10.
Yeah. So what would you, as far as like a recap, what would you recap as like kind of the mistakes made this week for us? I'm trying to think through because I didn't play much DFS. I pretty much had a break even DFS week. I pretty much did lock button Rico, and played a lot of CMC and that kind of stuff. So again, we were limited. I limited like total lineups, but I'm trying to think where I went wrong.
I do think there's a difference in the dailies and DFS, just because the dailies, like, you had to have Warren or McBride.
Right.
Because so many people had them. But DFS, you maybe could have gotten away with it, but you couldn't go super cheap. Like Long for Jacksonville did nothing. A few of those other like total punt tight ends did truly next to nothing. But what I'd say is, the big thing with DFS is honestly avoid the injuries, avoid Puka, avoid Mbuka.
But that's not process. That's just luck. So
but that was a big thing because
the process for me, I was kind of very high on DFS. I was kind of right on, like, obviously the Dallas stack was great. Rico was great. But I was very high on Diggs and Hunter this week. Travis Hunter was so low owned, cheap. We talked about in the Discord, Josh Downs, and he did great, scored a touchdown, great usage, but it was Hunter that had great usage. So do you think talk about this, because I need another minute or two on Substack. Do you think that's a process error on like the Travis Hunter call, or just like bad run? Because he had pretty good, like routes run and everything, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, Hunter was second on the team in targets to BTJ. He had 7 targets. He caught 4, but it was for like 14 yards or 20 yards or whatever it was. They were just all short. And honestly, Diggs kind of the same thing. He had the 3 catches, but he had another one, a 50-yarder that would have got his prop line. Still wouldn't have been like a massive DFS play, but would have extended a drive. He had a 50-yarder that they said he pushed off, and like by letter of the law, sure, but we see every week receivers not get called for that. So that was kind of like he would have at least been close and extended a drive, and maybe he gets over the 100-yard bonus with one more or something like that. But process wise, I don't think it was that far off. I mean, we knew the Saints were very susceptible through the air. May torched them. Unfortunately, he stopped throwing also.
Yeah.
Because the game was just totally out of hand. I don't think that was necessarily a process one. And like I said, the Hunter one definitely wasn't a process one. I mean, number 2 in targets, just didn't get there.
Well, like you said about the Diggs like push off thing, that hurt. We had a bet, he's in our betting slip too, so that definitely hurt. So you didn't do as many Underdog dailies. I was going to say, what was kind of?
I actually did a pretty good number of Underdog dailies. They did not didn't cashed in some, but didn't profit this week.
So what did you need? Pull up the Underdog. Like what was the winner? Like pull that up while I'm
finishing. The winner. Let me.
While you're doing that, I'll go to chat and then I'll finish this and we'll be able to lock in and focus. Obviously, I was almost on time, Mike Rob, almost on time. We got our guy, Mike Rob, in here. We got our guy, Eddie, in here. Steg, absolutely. Scataboo, Scata, yes. Juan, hello. Good to see you. Hi, Fanspeak. Good to see you. Yeah, the Amica hurts. Nervous about top teams and injuries piling up. Yeah, it's these next few weeks are going to truly test things here, because obviously buys this week 7, that is only 2, just Bills, Ravens, but then week 8 on, there's going to be a lot more buys to get through, for sure. Yeah. Let's see what happened to our folks in chat. So Mike says Puka and Mbuka killed so many weekly drafts in the Ravens-Rams game, just sucking. That was just a huge letdown, because you thought like, okay, Min, I know Kyron scored, but you thought Min won Rams, situation. That was not how it was at all. So that game being a big letdown, then the Puka, the Mbuka injury, but really, really, really rough. And I'll say to you, Eddie, what I've been struggling with, honestly, all 6 weeks, like, and I'm just full disclosure, is like, there's so many things that, like, whether I say it on this show, the CBS show, write it on here on Substack, there's so many things I'm getting right, but there's just too many things I'm getting wrong. And in DFS, you do have to be perfect. And especially in the DFS format, not the Underdog dailies, you're talking like 8 lineup spots where the underdog daily is only like 6 or something, and you have to get the defense right. So I'm just making too many mistakes. Like I'm getting like the Dak stacks the past couple of weeks, JT last week, Rico this week. There's so many things I'm getting right, but like last week I didn't play Rico wrong. This week I'm trying to think about I just said like Hunter Diggs. Like I know maybe that's not a huge process error, just didn't break my way, but like definitely wrong. Josh Downs was right. Like Rico this week with like a CMC was right, but like there was just too much wrong this week. What else do you think was right? Like who did you need? I'm trying to think who we needed in DFS this week to like get home on the main slate.
Yeah, I mean DFS quarterback wasn't a big separator.
Like if you'd like a May stack, what did you need in DFS?
Well, but honestly, you didn't need a May stack. You didn't want to stack May. Like, I mean, yes, you could do Kendrick Bourne, but or Butte, but nobody was playing that. So it's like you wanted to avoid Hunter Henry, you wanted to avoid Diggs. So like that's what it is, and that sometimes is what the process is not taking those kind of plays, like being pushed into a stack that doesn't work out with a quarterback, or like running back. They were just the haves and the have-nots, like Jacobs, Achane, and Dowdle. Those were smash plays. McCaffrey and JT were good plays. A lot of others were just bad play. Like Iron and Genty were okay, but not what you needed. And the bigger thing was the receivers, and that's what Mike was saying is if you were paying up for Puka or Devontae, and in Buka, like you weren't getting to JSN, you weren't getting to Pickens, and so you're just dead because you needed those guys. Those guys carried the wide receiver rooms. You could round out your wide receiver room with a Josh Downs, but even if you were right on Josh Downs, but you played in Buka over JSN, you're done. You're just not making it because they contribute too many points. And I have the Underdog daily. The top team actually was not a May or a McBride team. Number 2 was, but those were the top guys at their positions. The number 1 team was Dak, Jacobs, Rico, JSN, Pickens, Tyler Warren. But you basically needed quarterback was a little bit flatter. May was the best one. And but tight end, like I said, you needed Warren or McBride. And it was not a time to pay down at tight, like wait till 6th round for tight end. You were just not going to get there.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, thanks for reading the Underdog dailies lineup, the winning lineup. This was in a single entry, very different from like I'd have to pull out the big $3 that I put it in. But Daniel Jones, Rashad White, Rico Dowdle, JSN, Ladd McConkey, Josh Downs, Tyler Warren, Josh Jacobs paid up punt defense. So I really am. So to speak to Eddie's point, I feel like I'm getting a lot right, but I feel like I'm getting too mumuch wrong. And whether it's the defense not playing a chalk piece that was correct, not playing, on too much of a contrarian piece. It's just been a combination of like a few mistakes where just like 2 or 3 things are just way too wrong to have like a successful way above, mid cash type week. But it's good to talk it through. Lots of people were talking up Hunter last week. He had a good matchup. And he says the problem was Lawrence. Yeah, I know he missed both Hunter and BTJ some. So that was unfortunate because like Mike said, the matchup was there. We're going to get to this. Meg sitting in 5th in the marathon, Steve 41st on Drafters main. Bijan's still left. He's got Bijan left for his best team on Drafters. That's awesome. Obviously, good luck to you and Steve. I have Roma Dunze going in that marathon tonight. We're going to cover that in just a minute. Let me say hi to the rest of the folks. And then I just sent out Substack. So I'll get to that in a minute too. But Rico on all the Mbuka genes. Yeah, so if you had Rico Jacobs looking good, but then Mbuka just crushes it. Kicks in here. Great to see you, Kicks. Do you all play any cash games? It's the only way I can stay afloat. Yeah, I understand. I've never played cash games, honestly. I try to play more of the single entry, 3 max type stuff. And I don't think you've played much cash either over the years because I'm not playing like a ton of higher dollar, higher volume, but I totally get the cash games is a great way for bankroll management and such. But we've done more like single entry, 3 max, smaller field type stuff. as opposed to like the Millie. I haven't entered the Millie Maker on DraftKings in God years probably. But they're a great question. Though Best Ball and Call, great to see you listening while I mow the lawn. Here's the like. Thank you, Best Ball and Call. That's a great reminder. Hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. We got our guy Candyman in here with the what's up to you. Candyman and I's friends of Best Ball still cashing in the BBM or advancing currently. Hopefully that sticks because I love that team as well. So yeah, today, now that I'm locked in and focused, a couple housekeeping things, and then we'll dive right into it. So today, of course, every Monday, Degen Power Hour, we do an Underdog portfolio review. We do DFS. We just did a look back. We will do a DFS Week 7 early look. And then sometimes we do Battle Royale early look, but with the Monday night games starting at 7:15, we'll probably just jump right over to the Monday night bets, of course. While you're coming in, or if you're listening to us on replay, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the Fanspeak Network, be sure to subscribe, bell on. We got shows every single day, usually multiple shows every single weekday. And of course, the Discord, Substack, all tied together. Link in the description for our Substack, $34.99 for the entire year, but free week to test it out. Jump in the Discord with us. I just sent out, so we send you stuff every single day for DFS, Underdog dailies, and NFL bets. I just sent the Monday night bets and parlays, just posted them to Discord. So that is done. I can lock in and focus. Sorry for that being delayed. That covers all the housekeeping, Steve. Now it's time to talk about some good stuff. Let's talk through some of our best ball portfolio, which you and I are both excited about. A lot of things. So Steve, tell me first, how did your week 6 go for your portfolio, in your opinion? And I know you obviously still 2 games left. So with that said, what do you want to pull over? And then we'll each pull over some of our favorites that we're very excited about.
Well, I'll pull over drafters and bring that up. I'm currently, I have been in first place in one of the drafters minis. I am in second place, but I still, could retake first or still feel very good about where I'm at. And let me bring that up. It is, this team is a DAC team. So I have James Cook going tonight and Bill, JCM. And while I don't think they will top Scadaboo's 31 points or JT's 23, they could absolutely get into my flex, which is 6.7 Keenan Allen right now. So, receivers strong up top with Chase Pickens, but unfortunately the Mbuka injury did hurt this team. I'm currently 7 points back out of first, retaking first. So I think I have a fair chance. I mean, there's some teams like 20, 30 points behind me. So I don't think anyone is it's going to be me or Bum Newton in first after today. But I feel good about this team. I also have a 1 in 60th there and 128th in this contest. So I got some live action out of the 46,000 teams. But as Eddie shouted out, also I'm in 41st place in the drafters main. It's a DAC team, but Drake May was my quarterback this week. And yeah, I have Bijan. Jacobs and Rico Dowdle are currently my top 2 running backs with Justice Hill 9.4. So that's what Bijan's target is. And this, it's so many entries, 118,000, almost 119,000. Fortunately, my receivers just didn't get there. Sutton, Diggs, Jacoby Myers, Keenan Allen. Trey Tucker actually counted for me, but it's one of those, like, I figured out, like, if Bijan has like a 20-point day, it gets me like 11 points, I'll be in the top 25. So, or around there, depending on what some other people, obviously other people could have multiple players going tonight, getting them there. So we'll see what ends up after this, but it's just, the points are very tight right now. So it's exciting.
I love that team. I absolutely love that team. You read it to me earlier and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. And Superflex, I got a couple hovering around the top 100 out of 12,000, and a couple of them, 1 or 2 of them, I've a quarterback tonight. I think this one actually, yeah, Josh Allen tonight to get into my super flex spot.
Yeah, well, that's a big one. Ooh, it's got a boost in that one too. Yeah.
So in this, like there was another one like this one, another Josh Allen one. The one that's in 158. So yeah, I could really move up in those as well. So feeling good, definitely really good about where I'm at. Drafters on Underdog. I'll get out of here so you can maybe bring up Underdog because we're both doing well in the marathon. But in general, I'm feeling pretty strong where I'm at overall in Underdog. Again, want to see after tonight, and we'll look at our BBM, like our BBMD, I think after, right? Meg?
Yeah. Do you want to pull over your Underdog first? Yeah, I keep freezing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me pull up my Underdog. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having freezing issues. This is awesome.
So this is where I'm at right now. Again, and keep in mind the winning doesn't include any marathon or sprint.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing I'm sweating tonight is my limbs. Unfortunately, I think both my regular limbs will get knocked off tonight. But my big limb, I'm right outside the money right now, or right outside advancing, I should say. I'm in 5th place, top 4 advance, but I'm only 5-6 points behind these two, and I have Caleb Williams to top Sam Darnold. But the bigger thing is Drake London and Rome Dunze, and they only need to top Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins. So if those two have big games, even though the other two teams have some guys going tonight, I think I can advance. So I'd be really excited for that if I can keep this big limb team going. Yeah,
no, I'm definitely rooting for your big limb to keep on moving on. Anything you want to show on Underdog?
Again, I do like to kind of wait, and I'll do the show tomorrow afternoon, and I'll talk about some things then. So it's just tough to say. Like of the 20 Husky teams, I'm advancing currently 3 and 5, so 8 of 20. That's really good. Best ball median, we'll look at that in BBMD. I think in a second. That's pretty strong. Just in general, my I haven't totally calculated my advance rate, but I know it's above average, very above average. Hoping to get a few more of my top teams, because like Chow right now, I'm only advancing 1, but I got 2 and 3rd, 3 and 4th, or 4 and 4th actually. So, and 1 and 5th. So it's like I'm hoping I can end up with 3 to 5 of these teams advancing when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
but I'm currently only advancing 1.
Gotcha. We'll start to, like I said, we'll do like a monthly kind of full bag review show where we really know the percentages of each advancing in, super flex and regular and BBM and, rookie sophomores and all the different things. Which as we get closer to, to the playoffs, we'll break that down kind of more in depth, especially when it's only 1 game left on a Monday. But yeah, you can give updates tomorrow. I'll pull over my Underdog and then I'll pull over BBMD. So basically again, in the cumulative scoring, you have a top 100 team on Underdog too, right? On the marathon.
I'm sitting right at 100.
Right. Okay. And then you just pulled over the drafters where you have definitely some sweat equity and some exciting teams in both the mini and the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Schauf, Schauf siblings made a big push this year for the season-long format. Steve was doing a ton on drafters too, but the marathon, we did shows about it. We did live drafts about it. I wrote about it on Substack. And, we said like this, we think really rewards good drafting, really rewards player takes. You just need the luck to stay healthy. So, now Steve and I are doing well in these formats. We need the luck to stay healthy. And if we do, we're really excited about this because it's something we leaned into this drafting season. So I'll pull over Underdog now. And so I have a team currently in 5th place in the marathon. I did 53 teams. And, a wide ranging, obviously, as far as my lowest team to the highest team in 5th place. And then I'd have to look back at how many, are in the money and that kind of stuff. It's harder to see here, and hopefully BBMD will be able to add that and make it easier to see. But we covered this team the past couple of weeks, but now it is sitting in 5th with Rome Dunze going tonight and just has to clear T. Higgins points. Because if we look at the week 6 points, I've already scored 158.94, total points 895.74. So I'm only 11 points out of first place. Lineup is Dak, Herbert, Rodgers, obviously in drafted order, Christian McCaffrey, JT, Cam Scatterby, Rashad White, Braylon Allen, Taj Brooks. Don't know the order here. T. Higgins, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Roma Dunze, Steph Diggs, and Keenan Allen, and then Jake Ferguson, Mike Gesicki, Pat Freiermuth. So tight end's a little thin, but quarterbacks, my same quarterbacks from my Bulldog finals team last year feel good. Running back room feels amazing with a solid JT, CMC, Scatterby, Rashad White. And then receivers, I obviously drafted CMC, JT, and then hit receivers strong. It was like round 3 through 6. And that's why I was able to have a very balanced build of 3-6-6-3. Also not getting an elite quarterback and double tack being quarterback with Dak Prescott, Herbert, and then getting Aaron Rodgers lately. I just love where the positional allocation of this team, the structural allocation, the positional allocation. I love how it all kind of broke down. And I love that I leaned into a Dallas stack and, obviously, kind of still getting exposure to good teams, but getting exposure to just the workhorse running backs. I mean, CMC, JT, and Scatterby have the best usage on the season for running backs, are really up there in the obviously the tops of all running back usage right now. And that's exciting. And then I feel like it's a really solid receiver room with Pickens, Metcalf, Higgins, which hopefully Joe Flacco elevates him more. Keenan Allen, Steph Diggs, Roma Dunze. Ferguson is obviously absolutely carrying my tight end room, but if Freiermuth can do anything, that would be a nice backup and at least cover week 10, but just really need this team to stay healthy, obviously. But I am excited. I absolutely love this team. Steve, your thoughts as I, 1/3 of the way through have a fun sweat.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good, pretty balanced team. I mean, tight ends a little thinner, especially with the Gesicki injury. But you only won 6 receivers, but that's because you hit it hard in the mid, right after the first 2 rounds, and you got 1s and 2s on some really good passing offenses. So, hopefully, sign of life with Joe Flacco there, T. Higgins, that really helps you out a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this team. Just hoping and praying for health of this team because this will be a fun one to root on. In marathon, definitely have some other higher scoring ones, but that is by far the biggest sweat. Steve and I, 814. 814, we drafted all the flagship contests. Obviously, our eliminator's gone, but marathon doing well, sprint advancing, BBM advancing, love it. This marathon team, I think, is fun. May, Caleb Williams, Aaron Rodgers, McCaffrey, Hampton, Mason, Rashad White, Monangai, Justice Hill, Keenan Allen, Steph Diggs, Adunze, again, J-Mo, Calvin Ridley, BTJ. So I'm reading these just as they're, not as they were drafted. Pat Freiermuth, Zach Ertz, Jake Ferguson. So I like this team a lot too, Steve. And this is our team together. So to sweat out together and have some overlap.
Did you want to see how many marathon cashing teams you have?
I don't know how to see that.
Just go to marathon on desktop.
Oh, on desktop. Okay.
And go to overall leaderboard.
Okay.
And just click
my team's only.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've added that. Well, I think that was just maybe last week.
That's awesome. Okay. All right.
And
so
I have them in order.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. 5th. 443rd, 539. This 847 is ours. 1100, 2284, 2314. So let me count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoa.
You might have missed 1 or 2. I think it's at least 13.
Okay. Yeah, probably between 12 to 14 in there. So would that be a good, obviously the higher you finish, the more ROI you're getting. Truly, you can really calculate the ROI here. But I'm trying to think, is that good 14? If it was 13 out of 53?
13, it would just be under 25%.
Okay. No, that's good.
Yeah.
And again, obviously 3 in like the top 1,000 or top 550 is really
Yeah.
exciting. 4 in the top 1150. So I definitely like that. While I'm here, I'll take a look at the sprint team. I did 24, and currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 24 are advancing with a couple fourth place and fifth place. But 814, again, we did all 4 flagship. We are advancing this and another team that I like, even with Burrow, who, by the way, fell to us, I think, like in the 80s or something. Still Drake, May, Darnold, Bijan, Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, Braylon Allen, Justice Hill, Loud McConkey, T. Higgins, Mbuka, Pittman, Mims, Pop Douglas, who came through this week, Tyler Lockett, of course, Tyler Warren, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki. So despite having some injuries on this team, I still think it's a team that could advance and make some noise if Drake May obviously can keep doing what he's doing. As far as that other like bag checks, again, not doing as well. I think I have 2 third place in the war room. So that's good that it's in striking distance. I think I have a 4th or 5th place that's in striking distance in the bigger board. I think a decent advance rate in the big board. Really looking really good in super flex, rookie, sophomore. We covered marathon and sprint. And, I'm definitely starting to see some better trends, not the Bulldog 2, but the Bulldog, Chow Chow, Husky 2, Dalmatian, where, not Greyhound, where the higher dollar, good advance rate contests I talked about all summer are looking fairly good. I want to get pushed through as many of those. That's how I was able to make the Bulldog finals last year. As far as BBM, I'll bring over the BBMD. But again, as we break it down further, we can really look at like total advance rates and that kind of stuff. But let me bring over BBMD to look at, BBM and some other deep diving stuff there. So I brought over for Best Ball Mania, again, I only did 24. I really do it for shows. It was 3 of 24 last week. Now it's 7 of 24, but you talked about it. You and I talked about it last week. When you have so many like in striking distance, that's what's really nice to see, that, it just keeps you in the mix, right? That you could at any given moment get a, 29% advance rate. That probably won't hold, but 3 of 24 hopefully won't hold either. Hopefully it's somewhere in between.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, well, and you still, because look, I mean, we still obviously have tonight, but look at where the teams that are just out, a bunch of 4, and what I love about BBMD, it's not just counting up your 4th and 3rd place teams, but it's like 11.5 points away, 7 points away, 21 points away, 27 points away. I mean, I don't know what those teams are, but that 27 point away, if you have, Caleb Badunze and, Keon Coleman or something like that, like it could just massively switch in one night. So yeah, you might lose, you might look tomorrow and lose 1 or 2 there, but gain 1 or 2 other. So that's what's really nice about this. And it's just, you have so many, you only did 24. Like you said, most of these were for content, but you have 7 cashing and another 8 there that are within 50 points,
Yeah, no, definitely. And so that feels really, really good. The highest one here is, that's one I did that was my last BBMD. But the 814, this one is one of my favorites. It's our Sylvan Showdown 814. Again, looking good for marathon, sprint, and BBM. This is that one with falling value. Baker, Drake May, Justin Herbert, Gibbs, Cook, Caleb Johnson, Scattaboo, JCM. I mean, to have Gibbs, obviously Caleb Johnson currently is a whiff, but Gibbs, Cook, Scattaboo, JCM, that's ridiculous.
Then this one should get more points tonight, because right now Scattaboo is clearly RB1, but Gibbs is counted as RB2, and we have Cook and JCM to
right.
improve on it.
And look, like Hunter, I think there's meat on the bone there. Evans coming back, that kind of stuff. And then, obviously
probably very likely 2 of the it's very possible both Cook and JCM count, because the flex has to be very low right now.
Right. Yeah. But I think there's definitely meat on the bone with Ladd, Mike Evans, Hunter, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Dubs, Hopkins, and then Henry, Gesicki, Freiermuth. A lot of Gesicki, Freiermuth, which is something I loved and hasn't come to fruition, but luckily they're on teams with like Ferguson or Warren or Hunter Henry. So no, I think this team is really fun. I'd have to see which one which drafts, who these were with. These were all I can actually look at my Underdog really quick to find out. I'm right here. So let me see. I can name quickly who.
While you do that, I just want to make a comment. I saw Paul in here, Legion 13 saying, I've been scrolling to page 250 to see where the marathon cutoff.
I was doing that too. I'm so glad you told me that.
Yeah. And so you still don't know. It doesn't show. I wish it would just show it says prize cutoff even when you sort by my teams only. So, it doesn't show the exact. I looked it up. I think it's 712.04.40, something like that. So that just helps give a barometer of like what teams are close. But yes, I agree. They've added this, they made it better. But I just wish they'd put that, like just put what the prize cutoff number is, so you can know your team's just out, or even the ones that are just above, how far above they are. So
yeah,
Underdog's looking. That'd be one great add-on addition.
Yeah, but and kudos to Brett and the Underdog team. They just always listen, always make the sweat better. Brett tagged me in a Jewish McCaffrey Twitter post last night about this particular sweat. I already knew, but just very, very cool that Underdog's always listening and always improving the sweat equity and the sweat factor. So yeah, these other BBM teams that were all content except for 830, which was my last BBM. It was the 815 was the Greg Coach Speak Index. The August 1st was Pat Fantasy Dog Pound. 814 and 828 was Us Sibling Showdown, and 718 was Candyman, if he's still listening, and then 52 was BBG. So this is way back, and it was just both. I haven't had a quarterback yet tonight. Jaden, Caleb Williams, a chain, Scattaboo, White, Rashad White, Bigsby, Eckler, Roshan Johnson, Shipley, Neighbors. And so it has a ton of injuries too, and it's still cashing. Neighbors, McLaurin. I mean, who this is crazy. Metcalf's, Debo.
Oh, this team's going to get so many more points tonight because
it's going to get so many more points.
Debo's going to play. Burden could count.
And then Ferguson,
with the other injuries, and a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild stuff that it's still doing so well despite injuries. And then if Candyman's still listening, I really like this team. 718, July 18th is a big Dak stack. Dak, May, Herbert, love that. I remember we triple tapped quarterback in that 9, 10, 11 round area. JT Jacobs, just what a double anchor. Pollard, Ramondre, Ford, Lamb, who's obviously will hopefully be coming back next week. Sutton, Debo, Trey Harris, Leggett, Pop Douglas, obviously big day yesterday. Tutu, Kittle, Ertz, Freiermuth. So, even some guys.
Right now, Ertz just has to beat 1.5 points or whatever.
Yeah.
He's got. Yeah. And also Debo probably counts for you also. So that's another team that will likely get some points tonight.
Oh, he's listening. Let's go, Candyman. I freaking love this team. These are probably of all the BBMs I have, the Steve and I 814 team and the team I just read, the July 18th Candyman team are my two favorites. I absolutely love these teams. And I think there's a lot of meat on the bone for both of them. Anything else to you? I checked yours. Let's pull over your BBM. Take a look at that. Right now, you're currently 22%, 18 of 80, 22.5%. Excuse me, but I'm sure a lot of third and fourth place. If we scroll down, you got some teams cashing above teams that are, 11 points out, 8 points out, 27 points out, 7 points out, and 4 points out. You've got a ton of third and fourth place teams that are
like that 1.14, that third place team right there. I generally feel pretty good. And again, some of these, it will change after tonight.
And you'll look tomorrow. Talking about with Steve Speak, probably 1:30 tomorrow.
But I think that click on that 812 team, the team that's 51,000. I think I looked at that, the one that's not cashing.
This one.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, my few Anthony Richardson.
I was going to say you rarely ever drafted Anthony Richardson. Yeah, that's funny.
I have a Doomsday tonight.
Yeah.
And I thought there was somebody. Maybe there's another team I was looking at. One of the other ones I was very close to cashing that I have 3 players tonight. So, anyways, yeah, no, I generally feel pretty good. Yeah, maybe it's this one, Jaden
Oh,
Daniels. Oh
Jaden,
no,
yeah.
not this one
Oh,
because
they have
Mahomes is.
Mahomes counted, yeah.
But anyways, no, I overall feel pretty good, and that's why I do like particularly BBMD.
Yeah.
I know Eddie mentioned there's another site out there that does some nice BBM portfolios stuff, but what I honestly love the plus minus. That to me is I think one of the best things to look at.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because you and I talked about last week, and sure enough, I had 3 of 24 BBMs, and now it's 7 of 24 just because of that. How close was I? And you and I both have a lot in that like striking distance. So let's get to chat real quick. Eddie liked my marathon team. Paul, yeah, you helped both Paul and I for sure today. Showing on marathon how you see what is cashing. That's awesome. And then we bring over BBMD. Charles, good to see you. Charles says, congrats, Meg. That's a fun sweat. And I will say that, like, some people knock the like marathon format, and whether you're outside the cash or outside a big sweat looking in, or you're a situation like this where it's like, okay, like Josh McCaffrey's in second, I'm in fifth, and it's like we want to just hold and be able to try to fight for first. Yeah. That is fun to have that. And again, it rewards, to my opinion, our opinion, great drafting, great player takes, because it is basically being like, these are the players you should have drafted in each round. And now we just need them to stay healthy, keep doing what they're doing, sweat it out, and enjoy a fun sweat all season. Because there have been so many times the past few years in basketball where I fall in love with these teams, and I'm already falling in love with this, like, our sibling showdown BBM team and Candyman and I's BBM team, where you fall in love, and then it's like, it's 1 of 13 week 15 and it goes awry. And then it's just like, well, that's gone. At least this, it's like, we get to sweat this each and every week. And that's what I do. I mean, I love all forms of best ball, but that is what I like about this marathon or drafter season long format for sure. And yeah, Candyman, I'm so excited about our team. Steve, if you could answer this question. You said it did not count the Lockett fumble recovery, correct? He said,
no, he said it did end up counting. But initially, if you looked on Sunday or Monday, it was not. So he said it was on Wednesday that they flipped, and unfortunately cost him to lose a limb.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm sorry it cost you a limb, Paul, but okay. I did not realize that. Best One Call says, good luck to Fanspeak plus Fantasy Football Garage. Thank you. We appreciate you. And again, appreciate you coming in, reminding us to hit that like button. And then, excuse me, I secured rules and found there's an asterisk that says miscellaneous TDs count. Okay. Very interesting. We appreciate that, Paul. Anything else you want to look at here, Steve, before we go to the week 7 early look?
Not really. I mean, again, I love just because I showed it on mine. Can you bring up the Chow? Because I just wanted to show like currently only advancing 1.
You're 2. It says 2 of 9.
I think Underdog says 1, so that I don't know why that one. But
you have 11 points, 8 points, 7 points, 27 points.
My point, all these are within 27 points outside the 1/10th place, which clearly is
right. The 10th place is probably donezo, but everything else is within 27 points. So that's what's, like you said, that's what's so great about BBMD, is showing the plus minus. Like, and you got to feel pretty good about this one that's 121st.
I mean, that one,
yeah. Let's check out this team. Baker, Caleb, who plays tonight, obviously, Sam Darnold, Genty, Achane, Cook, Scatterbo. Good Lord, that running back room. And then Braylon Allen, Dowdle. Oh, and Rico Dowdle. That running back room is insane. Mike Evans, Adunze, Debo, Godwin, Keenan, Ray
Pierce. I'm get more points tonight with Adunze and Debo.
Yeah. And then Goddard, Strange. Obviously, hopefully Strange comes back from that injury and everything. But wow, Steve, this is nuts. And this is where, like, when you get that and you can guarantee, hopefully most weeks are 3 running backs, 2 RBs, and a flex. And then it's like these receivers in that, like, obviously Mike Evans, we need him to come back and do some stuff in this case. But these receivers, there are so many in those, rounds, 3 through 8 that are really performing. And then you tack on Keenan Allen. If they keep doing what they're doing, that could be massive for these kind of double anchor type builds. But I love this team, especially the Baker, Caleb stacks here. I absolutely love this team. This is a really, really fun team. Anything else to pull up before I go? We go over to the DFS streets.
No, nothing in particular. Just.
Okay, I am pulling over Let me, yeah, it keeps freezing for me. We're going to power through, though. We're going to power through. So, all right. So DraftKings, we already covered like the recap. Let's discuss, just look, do an early look here for DraftKings. So let me pull over DraftKings and then we will take a look at some pricing week 7. Of course, we dive deeper on Thursdays, lineup construction, and then the Saturday show, which we weren't able to do this week, but we will moving forward. The Saturday morning show for Substack subs only, of course, link in the description, free 7-day trial. We'll go over all the top plays that we are playing, basically our player pool at each position. So, all right, Steve, let's pull this up. And sorry, it's taking a little while to load. All right, classic. Let's look for, no, not the 2 games tonight. Let's look at this. All right. All right, come work with me here. Let's go. Any day now. Okay, quarterback. All right, so main slate here. Yeah. So we got, this is my first look truly at week 7. We know it's Bills, Ravens on a bye. I believe it's Rams. Who's on the game? It's Rams, somebody good. Rams, Jaguars, I think, in London. Forget the Sunday, Monday night games. Yeah, I think it's like Rams, Jags. So the games, we got Saints, Bears, Dolphins, Browns. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It was freezing a bit, but now it was better.
All right. Never mind. I'm not going to read the games because obviously we're just going to power through. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I won't bother reading the games. So let's talk quarterbacks.
Yeah. So I'll go over quarterbacks. Honestly,
Mahomes, Jaden, Hurts, Herbert. Who are you looking at the top? Yeah.
This is a good week of quarterback. Like, we have multiple elite quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes heading into tonight is QB1. He's got a good matchup against the Raiders. Jaden Daniels has a great matchup against Dallas, and Dak Prescott has a great matchup against Washington. Don't really like Hurts. But so, those 3, I think, are all extremely well in play. As we see, Drake May is the guy. I mean, 5 straight weeks of a quarterback rating 100 plus. I mean, he's just looking great. He could be just dunking with extra points. Like, he could have had 30 points on Sunday, yesterday if he needed to. We keep seeing, good old Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones, putting up some fantasy points. And, that's a sneaky game against the Raiders. We just saw the Dolphins put up some points on them. And then, of course, Caleb Williams back at home against the Saints defense. We've seen the Saints defense is very exploitable. I can tell you, as much as Fields can be hit or miss, I will play him against Carolina, but I will be lower on him. I mean, he had the Jets had -10 passing yards, net passing yards. But we just know his fantasy upside. So I do kind of like the Fields Knicks, and the guy I will say is Jackson Dart. I know it's a tough matchup against Denver, but he just keeps running. He just does not stop running. Looks like he's concussed every game. It doesn't matter. And he's had 23.6, 18.6, 19.8. I probably will look at him more in the 4:00 only slate because he does have the 4:05 game, and there's 4 games in that slate. But just something I wanted to note is they haven't moved his price up enough, maybe because he is playing Denver. But keep in mind, Denver is coming from an international trip. So, hey, Jackson Dart, he's doing better than I thought. But I will take advantage of him at a cheap price in a tournament setting.
Our internet's really breaking up for me. So running backs.
Staying at the top, probably will avoid Achane. That is a tough matchup against Cleveland. But JT and Jacobs, great matchups, Chargers and Cardinals. And their usage, I mean, Jacobs is now being used like, poor man CMC. I mean, 3 straight games of 40 or more receiving yards. I think he just continues to do that. Rico Dowdle, we'll have to hear about the Hubbard situation, but Rico might have that job now. The other backs like Barkley, I don't know. That's a tough we don't know what's going on in Philly. He is cheaper, but I just don't know if I can go down that road. Gentry against Kansas City, I think that's tougher than the matchup shows. Even against Denver, I think we got to go back to Scatterboo, right? I mean, we just have to play him every week. Brees Hall, I think, is a fine play. Jordan Mason, I know Scatterboo just got Philly, so you could go down that road. JCM, though, Dallas run defense might be worse than the pass defense. So I really like that. And then Judkins. Judkins just came off a really tough game against the Steelers, but he now faces Miami at home. I hate the Cleveland offense, but I do like Quinshon Judkins. So I kind of like these rookies here. Scatterboo, JCM, Judkins. Probably we can go to Kamara. Taysom Hill got the touchdown, sniped the touchdown, but Kamara had really good usage overall, five targets, 5 catches, 10 rushes. And it's just a good matchup against Chicago run defense that has struggled for a lot of this year. So that's kind of like my early look at it. In terms of like value, I think Dobbins is a good play. He had a really tough matchup last week, gets a good matchup now at home versus the Giants. So I think that's a good play. Switching over to receivers, Justin Jefferson's back. Not sure if I'll go down there. We need to hear what happens. There's a chance maybe CD Lamb's back. If not, Pickens is a must play. If Lamb is back, they're both expensive. I don't think you double tap them, but I think you play one. I think Rome's going to have a good game tonight. I think I'm going to be playing him next week against the Saints. I just can't play Garrett Wilson even against Carolina. And probably will avoid T-Mac against the Jets and kind of Waddle. Debo, assuming he's healthy, is an absolutely must play against Dallas. Worthy, it was Hollywood last night, but I think Worthy, Rice is back. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it's a very good play against that Raiders secondary. And then McConkey, we'll have to hear the QJ injury situation. But Indy's secondary is exploitable. Jacoby Brissett just threw for 300 yards on them, and included most of the game without Marvin Harrison. Sutton, I think, is well back in play against the Giants secondary after a tough matchup. I don't know what to do about the Philly receivers. I think they're tough. They're cheap, but they're tough. I don't mind going back to like Diggs or, Chris Olave against the Bears isn't terrible. As for cheaper plays, nothing has really jumped out to me. I think you can make a Green Bay case.
How are you handling Rice?
I probably won't be playing much of him just because I could see them easing him back in, particularly in a game that they probably have, they should be heavily favored. I mean, Raiders won yesterday, but it was more, they played the Titans. I think he'll, probably play 40-50%, but the good news, and Huhames and I talked about this, is because Marquise Brown's played well, because Thornton's played well, who didn't even play yesterday, and Juju, assuming Juju's not suspended for that post-game fight, those guys have played well, that I just don't think they need to force Rice in there unless they're getting behind or anything like that. So I know he's cheaper, but I just worry he'll be like a half-game player. He's cheaper, but it's 5,600. It's not like he's 4,000 or 4,500. So I probably won't unless we get like clear indication that he's a full go and or like Juju suspended or somebody else is banged up or something like that. So as for tight end,
all right, anybody else?
Yeah, tight end, I think Ferg and McBride are good calls to spend up on. Kraft, he got there last game, but only 2 targets. So it's just a little frustrating with the Packers situation. I think Tyler Warren is now always in play, even with the price bump. So the 3 expensive tight ends are, I think, where it's at. As for paying down, Harold Fannin and Njoku's probably injured and out. Ertz, what to see how he does tonight. He was good the first 2 weeks, hasn't really done much since. Not a ton is jumping out. I mean, if Bowers is out again, I think you can go back to Michael Mayer. Mason Taylor, I think, is fine play. Gadsden is probably a fine play, cheap as well.
All right. Can you hear me at all?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. It's really bad on this end. Do you want to just wrap it up and have our quick thought? I mean, it's like I can barely hear you. So,
Okay.
Do you want to give just our quick bets? And anybody who's interested, obviously everything that we like is in our Discord. It's sent to our Substack subs. We send our official bets to parlays, put it in Discord. If Steve lands on anything else, you'll be putting in Discord. But we basically like Bijan rest receiving. We're interested in obviously JCM rushing, but we did a parlay for each one, both posted to Substack and Discord. Any other thoughts, Steve? It's just, this is painful for me, and I'd rather you do a longer show tomorrow with actually good internet. I'll be back at my house Wednesday for good internet the rest of the way.
I totally get it. I just wanted to shout out Chad in here, Mike, Rob, and thank you for the comment here. Impressed about Steve portfolio is how little 10th to 12th place teams compared to how many are advancing. Yeah, and that's what I was going for. And another thing, like I've talked about with Who Hames as well. The hits are important, but it's also avoiding some of the big misses as well. And like we're us being ahead of the curve on like Daniel Jones, that's a big factor. Us being ahead of the curve on like a Sam Darnold. Those are big helps, and just 3 quarterback builds in general. I do think help that out. And then we got Charles in here saying Kincaid and Samuel are out. Yeah, it did look to be trending that way, so I'm not surprised that was the final news, and that's kind of how we were playing it. Mike Rob asking what's worse, bad internet and in charge or not in charge for Meg. And when she hears that in 5 minutes, she'll probably respond.
Oh, this might be worse than not being.
Well, that tells me something.
It might be that internet's worse. That's how much I hate this.
And so
all
wait,
right, Steve, get us out of here. I can't take it.
I will get us out in 2 minutes. Wade in here saying you're ahead of the curve on Rome Dunze. And yeah, we are actually both, even though we're Commanders fans, we are very much rooting for Roma Dunze to have a big game tonight. Still want Washington to win, but if this is a 42-35 game, we're pretty okay with that. But anyways, thank you guys. Please check out our Substack. Please check out our Discord for our bets. Thank you for all the likes and support. And as Meg says, go Rome. All right. And I will be back tomorrow with my show, and then with Who Hames, and then we'll be back later this week as well with our other shows. Meg really wants to get out of here. I'm kind of wanting to keep her on for a little bit longer, but I'll be nice. Thank you guys for all the support, and we will catch you next time. Peace.